Hey everyone, so in our day-to-day life we exchange a lot of files, maybe work related, maybe personal, like exchanging emails, data with your kids, wife. So now the thing is, not every method that you use to share these files are secure, and especially if you are just sending some public data like images and stuff like that, which is okay. But especially if you are let's say want to transfer something from the dark web, which is sensitive data, then you need to make sure you are using secure methods. Especially beyond that, also on your day-to-day life, let's say you have your tax statement, you have your health records, anything which you want to send, and you must have seen your bank has secure portal where you can transfer secure messages and stuff like that. But of course you cannot use that bank portal to send your health records, right, or share it with someone, or even share some other financial records. So that's why we need to find some secure methods. So today we are going to look into what the problem is. We are going to learn a few things today. First thing we're gonna learn is how do you what is the metadata of the file, and how do you clean that up before you send it to someone, because then if the metadata contains a lot of information such as who is the creator of the file, who is what was the program used, or the equipment used to capture, let's say you're capturing the image or picture, what's the time, location, etc. So that gives a lot of information. You need to clear that before you send it to someone. Second thing we are going to learn is we are going to practice the threat model. We are going to practice the threat model of the some of the common pattern or techniques that we use, mechanism that we use to exchange the file with the other users. So let me show you a quick demo of the metadata. So suppose here is the picture that I had captured with my iPhone, and if you go to properties of this and go to details section, here you will find a lot of data is being captured. So when was the picture taken, what is the program name, it will also tell you Apple, my iPhone, and if you scroll down, there'll be some other information as well. So given this is the information we do not want to share with someone, maybe in some other files you will also find some other metadata. So maybe you can explore, you can go through your file system and see what the metadata is captured in each of the file and the one that you are sending, and how attackers can use that. So one thing what you can do is remove properties. So you can just click here, create a copy with all possible properties remove, or you can select which one you want to remove. Let's say we want to remove everything. We click OK, and then now we have a copy. Let's go to the properties again and see the details. So as you can see, it has very less details, right? It doesn't contain iPhone, it doesn't contain the name or date that was taken, this picture, etc. So this method, before you send any file, maybe if you delete all the properties and metadata, that will also give much less information to the attacker. But now let's talk about the threat model, the main topic that we want to chat about, how do we securely send the file, and what are the threats we have. To understand what is the secure way, we first need to understand, apply our threat modeling process. We need to determine what are the current threats. Then we need to find out what are the controls that we need to prevent from those threats being exploited. And then we need to find a solution which matches to all the controls that we are looking for. So in today's world, we are mostly either using email to exchange the file, or we are using the cloud storage. And that cloud storage could be your Google Drive, your Dropbox, your Box, OneDrive, etc. And even the emails that you're using is also ultimately is using the Google Cloud Storage. So for instance, if you imagine if you are sending a file which is then via email, is still being stored somewhere in the Google Cloud, if you are using a Gmail for instance, or Office, then Microsoft 365 or something. Now what is the issue here? The issue is it's not private. That means there are a lot of people who would have access to the cloud storage, being as a customer, being the employees of the cloud provider, etc. Second, there is no anonymity, so there will be logs anywhere, everywhere. There will be tracking. It's not secure. So those are the concerns. Now, how the cloud storage works, we all know. So simply you put the file, it stays in the cloud, and then anyone can retrieve it. Now, let's say you retrieve the file. However, you don't know, the copy of the file may still reside in the cloud. Now suppose there is and we have seen this breach happen so many times. Suppose there is a breach which has happened, and would get all the files from the cloud, like copies of the file from the cloud. They get access to the cloud. Maybe there is an employee. So what are the threats? So threat says one of these, copy of the file can be stolen from the cloud server. So the hacker is able to breach the security and get access to the cloud server. Now he's able to have access to all the files which is being stored there. Now you may or may not have deleted your copy from there. Some provider still keeps the copy of the file even after within 30 or 60 days, even after you delete it. So the copy would remain there, and there is if your document is really sensitive, then you would be worried about your data being stolen. Second is disgruntled employee can steal the file. We have seen this happen so many times, even in the big organization. If the employee goes rogue and then he has access to the server, he can read the file, maybe if not steal the file. He can also read the data in the file, which is also very serious issues. Third one is, let's say the employee is not disgruntled, or he's not motivated for any benefit, but hacker can phish the user. What happened in, I think, Uber scenario, to gain access to the server and then steal the content. So here the employee is being the weakest link, and the hacker can exploit that. That's another threat that we could explore. Then sometimes this government agencies, they have agreement for some incident or some investigations. They have to get logs or other data from the cloud service provider, and they cannot say no, because of course they have an agreement in place, and your anonymity could reveal, or your sensitive data could reveal to the government if this could happen. So these are really threats of using the cloud storage or email provider to exchange the file. Now what do we need in order to avoid this threat, right? That's critical. So one thing is, we need client-side encryption. What I mean by that is, suppose you have files in the cloud server, and there is a first threat, one can steal from the cloud server, maybe employee can steal it, or hacker can steal it, or cloud service provider can steal it. If the file is not just server-side encrypted, but also client-side encrypted, so only if I'm the owner of the file, only I can decrypt it, or my receiver can decrypt it, even though that file is stolen or given to government for any reason, they will still not be able to read it or decrypt it if we are using good encryption algorithm, of course. But that will be a solid control to prevent anyone from reading through the file. Second, how about we just never store file in the cloud? How about we maybe keep data in the cloud just for the brief period, or we do not use cloud at all? That might be a best solution as well. And then the last one, as I said, what if we use TLS authentication, where I exchange my encryption key to my receiver, and receiver can only decrypt the file, so there is no middleman in between. Now, considering this solution, there was one solution which comes to my mind. However, that has deprecated. If you want to Google it, you can do the Microsoft Sand. So that was the feature which was used and followed most of this controls. However, the issue was some people were abusing that feature, and then they shut down this project. But that was a good solution. It's okay though. We do have other solution in place which we can use, and of course, since we are talking about the Tor network and their anonymity and privacy, we are going to make full use of it and full benefit out of it, and make sure we use that to extend the file. So in the next section, what I'll do is maybe we'll do a demo of that solution, how we're gonna use it. But until that, maybe just look through your files, look through what metadata does it capture, do the threat model of the system that you're using to exchange the files, see what other threats are, see if that's appropriate to you, if something you want to remediate, maybe look for another solution as well. So do some brainstorming. Maybe that's a good way to protect your identity. That's all from this session. If you have any questions, feel free to put it down in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. It's just gonna take 1 second. And also please provide me your feedback in the comment section so I know what kind of content you are looking for. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.